When you look at a millionaire, what's the first thing that pops in your head? Do you think money, cars, mansions? Those shouldn't be the first things that come to mind. Think habits. Good habits are what will bridge you from a life of mediocrity to a world of abundance. Today, I'm going to share with you 8 habits that will greatly improve your chances of becoming rich. Please subscribe and hit the bell notification for more videos like this on a weekly basis. Before we begin, I want to preface by saying these habits must be performed on a regular basis for any real change to happen. Always remember, long-term consistency triumphs over short-term intensity. With that in mind, let's get started. Knowledge is money, and I'm not talking about college either. I never went to college. Matter of fact, I didn't even complete high school. But the one thing that started it all for me was reading. Reading has drastically changed my entire life. Rich people tend to believe in the importance of self-improvement. According to the Rich Habits study by Thomas Corley, 88% of the rich read at least 30 minutes a day. Now, what you read is just as important as how much you read. Out of the 200 plus millionaires in the study, 58% read biographies, 51% read history books, 55% read self-improvement books, and only 11% read for entertainment purposes. The main reason a lot of successful people read is to continue improving themselves. By increasing your knowledge, you're able to see and create more opportunities for yourself. A good book could save you 5 years of your life. Reading will help keep you more in tune with our ever-changing world and give you the necessary tools to start building your financial future. Did you know 69% of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings? That means just one unforeseen financial emergency could throw them in a pile of debt. Start small if you have to, but pay yourself first and try to save at least 10 to 20% of your income, if not more. People save money for many reasons. Some include emergency funds, retirement funds, college education, and investment funds. It's very important to have money set aside for unforeseen expenses. This could be things like your car breaking down, a medical emergency, or an unexpected job loss. Trust me, it happens. Typically, you want your emergency fund to cover at least 3 to 6 months of expenses. According to the Bureau of Labor, the average household spends about $4,800 per month, which means your emergency fund for 6 months should be around $29,000. Start small. Start by depositing $500 to $1,000 in your savings account. Then every month, regularly, you want to deposit another $100. Trust me, eventually you won't even feel it. Once you're comfortable and readjusted, then increase your deposits to $150 to $200 a month. It was a challenge for me in the beginning, but the more I stuck to it, the easier it got. According to Business Insider, the average millionaire saves around 64% of their income. So if you want to be a part of those statistics one day, start saving today. Following a budget is probably one of the most unattractive ways to build wealth, but it's also one of the best. Without setting a budget, it's pretty difficult to know how much money you have coming in and how much money is going out. More importantly, where that money is going. Almost every millionaire follows a budget. According to the Millionaire Next Door, following a budget is one of the most common habits shared among the rich. We all have areas in our life where we tend to overspend, sometimes without even knowing it. Setting and following a budget will act as a roadmap to your financial success. You'll be more aware of your money, and you can easily adjust spending according to your current goals. But remember, setting a budget isn't enough. You need to follow it as well. I used to think being frugal meant being cheap, but there's a huge difference between the two. Being cheap means you want to pay the least amount of money for your purchase. Being frugal means you want the most bang for your buck. Most of the rich avoid overspending. Just because they can drop a few $1,000,000 on a new car doesn't mean they do. Matter of fact, being cheap in most cases is actually more expensive in the long run than most people think. For example, if you buy some cheap pair of shoes, you'll wear them out much faster, forcing you to buy a new pair. Compared to if you were to just buy some good quality shoes in the first place, they would last a lot longer. Make frugality a habit and practice spending money where you'll get the most benefit for each dollar. Now, we all know the importance of saving money, but a lot of people underestimate the benefit of paying off their debt as soon as possible. Set aside some funds to pay off your existing debt, especially those high-interest credit cards. Because debt is like a monster, hiding in the shadows. We don't notice it much at first until it grows so large, we can't ignore it. If you're not careful, debt will take over your budget and greatly limit your financial options. If the interest rate on your debt is greater than your return, pay the debt off as soon as possible. Make this a priority because you may be spending a little more upfront, but it'll save you a ton of money in the future. I recently made an entire video covering debt and how to be debt-free. I go into more detail with the types of debt, how to structure your payments, and other debt-related tips. Link in the description if you're interested. What's more important than money? Your health. Without your health, it doesn't even matter. The rich prioritize their health and structure their eating habits accordingly. Thomas Corley's Rich Habits study found that 57% of the rich count calories every day. He also noted that 70% of the wealthy eat fewer than 300 calories of junk food per day, as opposed to 97% of the poor who eat well above that range. Why is staying healthy so relevant to becoming rich? It's simple. You can't make money if you're stuck in a hospital bed all day. Be sure to take some time out of your day to really focus on your health. This means working out every day, eating a balanced diet, and getting the proper amount of sleep each night. Living a healthy lifestyle has its own benefits in terms of fighting disease, such as diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. It'll also improve your mood and enhance your cognitive abilities. There is no greater investment than investing in yourself. It doesn't matter how busy you are. If you don't make time for these things now, you'll be forced to make time for them later. Make the choice of living healthy into a daily habit and incorporate it into your routine. This is one investment where the returns are limitless. You've probably heard how most successful people are notorious for being early risers. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is already in the gym by 4 a.m. Apple CEO Tim Cook wakes up at 3:45 each morning. Richard Branson, Gary Vaynerchuk are all early risers, to name a few. The Rich Habits study shows that 90% of executives wake up before 6 a.m. on weekdays. And almost 50% of self-made millionaires wake up 3 to 4 hours before their workday even begins. A morning ritual is extremely important to your success. It's not a coincidence that so many of the rich have morning routines. Getting out of bed early will greatly improve your productivity. It'll give you more time to exercise, go out for a walk, meditate, or just get some extra work done before the day begins. The old saying, "the early bird gets the worm," is cliche, yeah, but it's very true. Even if you're not a morning person, set your alarm clock earlier and earlier each morning. Just give it a shot. Use this extra time for self-development and improving yourself. The first few hours when you wake up are extremely important. What you do with that time will shape the rest of your day. Doing something productive in the morning will give you the momentum to breeze through the rest of the day with that same energy. Waking up early doesn't mean you have to lose sleep either. When I started rising early, it was difficult at first. I could only get about 4 to 5 hours of sleep. But as with almost everything, repetition is key. The more I did it, the easier it got. I was able to reset my internal clock and I started waking up at 5 a.m. each morning, with 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Doing this has changed my life. It made me appreciate my time and made me realize just how important a morning routine truly is. We're only as successful as the people around us. 86% of successful people associate with other successful people. 96% of those who struggle financially associate with those who also struggle financially. But this isn't the entire story. Negative people can affect your attitude. Having a positive, energetic attitude is crucial for success. So being around those who always speak negative about everything will only bring you down. Negative people will never allow you to grow. They'll try to make you more of who they are. They'll gossip about their neighbors, speak ill about someone else's success, and spend a lot of time complaining and complaining. I'm sure you know the ones. In order to grow, you need to be around people who spread love and positive energy. People who can teach you from their mistakes and people you can rely on when need be. Decide who you want to be. Then look around your circle of people and decide, are they helping me get to where I want to be, or are they preventing me? I had a bunch of friends during high school. A lot of them didn't have my best interest in mind. They wanted me to do things I wasn't comfortable with. At the time, I didn't know any better. I just assumed this is how it is. If I wanted to fit in, I had to do what the cool kids were doing. Eventually, life forced me to grow up. I had to look within at who I wanted to be, and I had to look on the outside and decide who I wanted around me. Slowly, as time went on, I went my separate ways. I found new friends who shared the same outlook on life as I do and who helped me become the best version of myself. The people you surround yourself with today is a reflection of who you'll be tomorrow. Just make sure that reflection is the best possible version you can be.